So thank you very much indeed. And thank you for inviting me to be here today. It is a pleasure to be here in front of this distinguished audience, ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm really delighted to be talking on the subject of Wi-Fi. I mean, this is all about connectivity. Connectivity is the thing that we'll always come back to. And I think over the past few years, many of us have become very aware of how important Wi-Fi networks have been, particularly with the experiences of COVID and in our work in offices and our work in homes, the connectivity that we've been able to get in order for us to do our jobs, for us to do our social activities, for gaming activities. You know, Wi-Fi has become an integral part over the past few years in particular for what we want to do and how we get the connectivity we need. Regulators have had to keep pace with those developments. Within the UK, Ofcom made the lower 6 gigahertz band available for Wi-Fi back in 2020. That's 500 megahertz of spectrum from 5.9 to 6.4 gigahertz. The European Commission followed suit about a year later and made that available across the European Union in 2021. And now our attention is focusing on the upper 6 gigahertz band. That's been very topical. It's been quite an area of focus in the European preparations for the upcoming World Radio Conference. And last December, Ofcom issued an update on the upper 6 gigahertz band. And this explained that while we're still thinking about the optimal use of this band, which runs roughly from 6425 megahertz up to 7125 megahertz. While we're still thinking about what the optimal use of that is in the UK, we do believe that a no-change outcome from the World Radio Conference would be in the best interests. So we're therefore supporting no change going into the next WRC. And that, if you like, is the next sort of evolution, I think, for Wi-Fi. And we'll probably hear from some of our panel in relation to some of the industry developments and some of the use cases that are likely to materialise over the years ahead. But equally, I think it's very important as well that we don't actually sort of lose sight of the basics of Wi-Fi and the ability that Wi-Fi has to provide access to the connectivity, which, as I say, has underpinned so many of the conversations that we've had over the last sort of few hours. So, with that in mind, I'm delighted to be here. I'm delighted to introduce a very distinguished panel. I have some industry expertise already here. I'll come to those in a moment. But in the format that seems to be working very well here, we're going to start with some initial observations, comments and thoughts from some ministers. So I'm going to run through these and give each minister 2 minutes to just outline some of the issues around Wi-Fi that they see. So firstly, on my list is the Honourable Thulagano Marifa Sekoko, who is the Minister of Transport and Communications from the Republic of Botswana. So if you would like to take the floor, I will be delighted to hear about your initial thoughts for this session.